Speaking about your campaign, can you describe some of the challenges that you faced running a grassroots campaign that others who are considering running should be aware of?
Yes, if you want to start a grassroots campaign, especially if you're running against an incumbent, you really need to think long and hard about it and know that you're serious. I'm lucky because I'm retired, so I have some time. But you also need to be understanding that you're going to have a challenge of the incumbent having a lot of power. The incumbent influences who gets contracts, who doesn't. Anybody that has a contract with the city, whether it's a company or a nonprofit even, um, feels beholden to the person who they rely on for their income. So even if you're working with progressive nonprofits, it's hard to make inway because they may like your policies better, but they also get a paycheck, and so it puts them at a crossroads in their own mind as to where to go. So that's one of the major things. The other thing, obviously, is the amount of money. You need to realize that an incumbent for a city council election is going to have about $300,000 in contributions, and most grassroots individuals, if we can get just a couple thousand or a few $1,000s in donations, we're pretty lucky. So you have to be ready to self-fund some of the things, whether it's lawn signs, postcards, and it really helps if you have a lot of family and a lot of friends that are actually willing to go out and hit the streets and hit the phones. Um, you'll find out who's dedicated and who's your friend and who's who's got the time and who doesn't. Um, say it that way. Plus, after a bruising presidential campaign, I think pretty much everybody was exhausted. So I don't blame anybody that hasn't had much time because we're all exhausted after that presidential campaign.
I think so. But I think a lot of us are realizing that it's super important now to be involved more than ever. And on that note, I'm sure that you're aware of the sort of debate that's going on around whether we should try to take back the Democratic Party and put grassroots candidates into the Democratic Party, or if we should take the movement elsewhere. And given that you've decided to work within the Democratic Party, I have to ask, so what is the party responsible for assisting you with then, if not with funding? And do you think that they have held up their end in that area? Do you think that they've treated you fairly against this incumbent?
The thing is, this is a supposedly nonpartisan election. There is no such thing as a nonpartisan election. The parties are probably just as involved or more involved and interested in a city council race as anything else because that's where they start to groom people to move up through the system. Um, I came in late, coming back into the Democratic Party, so the county Democrats really didn't have me to interview for their endorsement. I highly doubt that they would have taken my candidacy very seriously, and they're going to go with the incumbent because brand affiliation. You don't want to say that your incumbent didn't do the job. So I didn't expect anything from the California party. I've gotten endorsements from the local clubs, the Progressive Democratic Club, the Yes We Can Democratic Club, and Americans for Democratic Action, and a nonprofit group called Emerge, um, which they're interested in uh, Proposition 13 and how it was focused more towards helping the commercial side than the residential side, and they're looking to have the commercial side more involved in having their properties reassessed the way the residential side is. So, yeah, again, it's all been grassroots. I can't say that they've been fair or unfair because I think it's clear that they're always going to go with the incumbent for a nonpartisan election, which to me probably isn't fair, but that's the way it is.
I'm not really familiar with Proposition 13. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Prop 13 was back in the 70s, and that what it did was it froze property taxes and then put them on a scale where the rise in the assessed value could only move a certain amount, certain percentage per year, and then the only times that you would see a big jump in property taxes is when you sold your house or there was some other reason for a reassessment. So it really helped out residential homeowners a lot back then, as well as commercial businesses. But on the commercial business side, they haven't had the same, because the businesses don't get sold as often as homes do, they don't get reassessed as often. So there's been somewhat more benefit to them than there has been to residents.
There usually is, I would say, more benefit to businesses and corporations than to individuals. Um, so if you don't happen to win the seat, what's next for you? What's your plan after that?
My plan's definitely not to just go back into retirement and do nothing. I don't know exactly what my role would be, but I'll be supporting the next progressive that's running. When we have the next round of elections, and I'll still be bothering the council and the mayor. Still going out to AQMD meetings and you know letting my voice be heard and helping inform the voters, whether it's on the neighborhood council or with the budget advocates or wherever I can.
Okay, I'm sure the people in your community will really appreciate that. Um, is there anything else that you're really dying for everybody to know about your campaign or your platform?
Um, I think it probably doesn't come as a big surprise, but I just didn't really realize how much corruption that there is in government until I actually got involved in this. And just, yeah, realize that, I mean, everything, whether it's business or even like I said, the nonprofits, even that work for the city, are involved in or can be, not accusing everyone of being crooked, but um, every um, every area has its good actors and has some of the pay to play going on, um, and just be aware of that. And the more you can get involved, the more that you'll see that. Read your local papers here in the Harbor area. We have Random Lengths newspaper, which does a great job at uncovering a lot of the sordid details of what's going on behind closed doors. Not really so much closed doors, public hearings, but the public isn't usually at every public hearing because they have other things to do, like raising kids and those types of things.
Okay. Well, finally, how can people donate to or otherwise help your campaign?
If you'd like to donate to my campaign, the website is, of course, www.crowdpac. It's without a K, so it's crowdpac.com. And then you go up to the little search bar and just type in Caney Arnold for City Council. That's Caney, and last name is Arnold, Arnold, for City Council. You should see my face pop up, and you can click on my life story, and you should see a button for donations and endorsements, and that's the place. And you can always find me on Facebook if you want to see the latest thing I'm throwing out there as one of my concerns.
All right. Thank you, Katie. We're going to put all of your links down below in the description of the video for anybody who wants to just find them and click. So Caney Arnold running for LA City Council District 15. Check him out. Give it a look. Caney, I hope that you'll come back and talk to us sometime. I'd like to pick your brain maybe about legislation and policy.
That would be great. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you.